Okay, well, I've got my Hovabator 1602. I hope you can hear me. This thing doesn't pick up sound very good. Anyway, you can see the lights off, so it's turned off for that heat cycle there. It just turned on. I want to show you what I do about my temperature. Now, this one's going to be for putting eggs in lockdown. You can see it kicked on about 99 degrees. That thermometer there is dead on the money. I can trust that. It's on the money. It kicked on at 99, and it should kick off just before it gets to 100. And what you might not know is when these things kick off, that incubator is going to keep heating because this thing right here, this element, gets hot, and then when the thermostat reaches a certain temperature, this kicks off, but it's still hot. So it starts cooling. It cools kind of quick, but anytime it kicks off, you got to figure at least another half a degree. So I've got to wait. Now, the reason you got light in there, I've got this flashlight sitting on here. But anyway, it's been adjusted and adjusted. But what I've got here, I've got this gauge. Now, I think it might run about a half a degree high, but it's close. But what's nice about this is I can see what the max has been, which is 100.2, there's nothing wrong with that, and the minimum, then 99.1. It shows my humidity. Now that stuff's down in there. You'll see right there. That's the temperature probe for that meter, and then there is the humidity, the one with the little grooves in it. There's another thermometer over here. It still hasn't dried completely out. It was a Miller Little Giant one that I calibrated, and anytime you get that paper wet, it takes forever. It's been like 3 hours and it hasn't come up to temperature yet. It's just steadily rising because that paper is wet. It takes a while to dry. I don't like that setup, but that's just the way it is. But one thing nice about that one, the thermometer don't change as quick, so you can get an idea of what the egg temperature might be, because the eggs don't heat up and cool down like the incubator do. They heat up, and then when it cools off, they stop heating until you reach an internal temperature of whatever it is. You don't want to worry about your eggs. You don't want to be shooting them with the little laser gun to see how warm the egg is. That'll just screw you with your head. What you want is you want your temperature to stay between 99 and 100. You see that's kicked off, and it's at 100 according to that. And we'll look at this one. And move this up here so it's not blinding us. Not quite at 100. I'm going to put this over here. Okay, it's not quite 100, but you see it's still climbing. It's above 99.5, we'll put it that way. It's almost dead on 100. And that one's only went up to 100.2. So even if that was a half a degree high, that's pretty good. That's pretty accurate, which I'm not sure that it's high. That's just what I thought a little bit ago. This thing here has been here, like I say, for 3 hours. It's almost up to temperature now. But anyway, it just must be finally drying out. It should only take 3 or 4 minutes. This one will only take about a minute to get right. You can see it's about 99.5 still. All that times went by since that shut off. So this is going to give me a really good idea of what's going on. I'm going to know what the highest it's been, that's the max, see the little max thing? Minimum 99.1. And anytime you want to reset it, you just go to max, hold it in, it resets it. You'll see the see, now it's reset, but it's because it's 102. I need to let that go down before I reset that. What you want to do is wait till it's not at 99.5 and then reset it, because it's automatically going to be maxed out. It's going to show 100.2 degrees max. Let's just wait a minute for that. But anyway, I think you can get an idea. Now I can check it on Celsius if you want to, which it's only 37.9. That's only 0.4 of a degree higher than optimum, and optimum is where not a 99.5 is where you want your average to be. So 99.1 to 100.2, that's putting you pretty close to 99.6 degrees or 37.6 degrees Celsius. That's some pretty good readings if you ask me. Especially when that thing that's the max it ever gets out. Now that's probably almost down to about 99 degrees now, because the next mark down would be 98. There's a little black mark on the tube, just kind of ignore it. It kicked on just now. You'll see this is only down to 100 and it kicked on. Well, that'll continue to fall because even though the heat kicked on, it takes a little bit for the element to start heating up. So if that ever drops down below 100, I'm going to reset it just to give you an idea of what's going on here. I don't imagine my light's making any heat. I can't believe that kicked on like that. Anyway, we'll give it a second here. It's all lit up just because I got that light on there. I'm going to show you that light here in a minute. If you want to candle eggs, a really, really good light for candling, and you can get it down. I got it down at the local parcel there. It dropped down to 99.5. Now what we're going to do, we're going to reset that. So the high and the low, see it's on minimum. Okay, max, minimum, and turn it off. Just let it do its thing. See, it's still cooling. Even though that light's on, it kicked on, it's cooling. And you'll see this one, it's down to, it's about 99 degrees, maybe just barely below 99. This is starting to dry out now, so it's getting pretty close. So anyway, you can see how that works. Now I'm going to show you my little light I use for candling. This is a, it says police on it. It's from AutoZone. It's like 20 bucks. And there's a cheaper one for like 19, a little bit smaller, but it just don't have that big shiny thing inside there. There's a, I don't know if you can see it there, but around, see, you got that little yellow square. It's magnified right now, but around it, it's got this chrome. The other one didn't have that. And boy, does that really light up an egg. And I mean, it just lights them up like a Christmas light. And you see we're back up to 100 and the light's already kicked off. So the highs we're getting barely over 100. Sometimes it goes down below 99.5. That weren't my light. Okay, well, hope that helps you out. That thing there, I ordered that off of eBay. That is called a temperature, or a temperature. Let's see, it's a thermometer and a humidity meter with probes. I think I paid like $8 shipping in there, like $7.95 shipping and all. Took me about a week to get it. I shopped around eBay, found one cheaper in California, but I'm on the East Coast. I'm in West Virginia. So I ordered one that came out in New Jersey for $1 more. And I had it in like 3 days, 4 days. It would have took me a week and a half to get it from California. So I was like, I'd rather spend the extra $1 to save me a little bit of time. And I think it reads just a hair high. I'm not positive. It might be on now. Maybe it just did that when I first put it in there. But it seems to be working pretty good. If you look at my other videos, you'll know how I know that one's on. That's that one other one I would trust above any kind of thermometer there is. This one's coming around now. Let me see. I need to get my light. So hang on. I'm gonna grab my light. This one's now finally drying out. They have to dry out, but you finally see. I calibrated that too. You can see I glued the top in, but it took forever for that paper to dry out. And as long as it's got a little moisture, it'll read low. That air blowing past it, it just reads low. But it looks like it's about 99.5 now. The light's off. The high again, 100.2. Right now the low should be 99.5. And it could drop down below that. But that close, I really wouldn't adjust this. But let me tell you what I would do when I'm adjusting. Let's say I decide it need to go down a half a degree. Well, I wouldn't turn this till I see any lights going off. I would just look. It says increase going this way, decrease going this way. I would just take that and probably go like that, like maybe instead of it going this way, it maybe come like where if it's going across right here, I might turn it to there, lock it in. Try to keep the same pressure on this because that stuff squeezes. What you do, you loosen the nut, you turn it to say here, snug it back up, and walk away and come back in an hour. And in an hour, then come up here in an hour from now and hit this reset, clear it, and then it gives you another set of. Because if you try to turn it till it kicks on and off, that really don't tell you anything. It kicks on, it should kick on about the temperature you want it to be. The problem is some of them's different. If it kicks on the temperature you want it to be, which right now it's probably 99.5, even though it's not showing that on that one. That one registers kind of slow. This one's actually quicker. Because when it kicks on, it continues to cool for a little bit. Them things don't heat up immediately. These are low wattage. You don't want something that heats up real quick anyway because it will kill your eggs. You want that to heat up nice and slow. and then when it kicks off, it's going to cool down nicely, and it's going to keep the temperature in there a lot better, and them work really well. These incubators, these styrofoam incubators, the reason people use them, it'd be a lot simpler to make them out of plastic, but you get a lot better results out of these. And you can see now it's doing down once that kicks on. So you don't turn this till it kicks on, unless you're going to turn it down, like turn it up till it kicks on or turn it down till it kicks on at 95, or however you turn it till it kicks on at 99.5. But what you got to do is let it run a little bit and figure out where it's actually set on out at. And right now it's still, the lowest it's getting is 99.5. It was getting down to about 99.2, that's fantastic. But 99.5 to 100.2 is even better because it's narrowing up our little window. And we're going to be putting some eggs in lockdown in here pretty soon. I've got them in the other incubator, and one just like this with a turner. It's got a little giant turner in it. You can see right there, we're above 99. See, halfway between them two marks is 99. That little black mark's supposed to be 99.5, but I think it's more like 99.2 or 3, but it's just something to go by. And it seems like it's really holding a good, see, it's still at 99.5. That light's been on for a couple minutes. Looks like pretty good. Now it kicked off. That means up here where this thing is, that it got to whatever temperature it is that it kicks off. I don't know what that temperature is. But see, now that it kicked off, that element's no longer getting any power, but it's still heating up. So it had to kick off now, or it would have got up to maybe 101 degrees, and that's not what we're shooting for. Okay, well, I hope this video helps you. I know I'm kind of long-winded about it, but I didn't want to leave anything out. You can see where my cords are these are real thin cords for the probes. I just ran them around. I could have stuck the temperature probe down through here, but the humidity probe won't fit down through here, so I just laid them in there and I strung them in there where I thought they might be all right, where it might work pretty good. And that's the temperature probe. And we can see it went to 100.2, and I'm guessing now it's going to level off. Alrighty, thanks for watching. Facebook folks.